Hey, this is Todd Nuke'em, and I am at the Capitol Theater. Why am I here? Well, one of my favorite bands of all time is playing tonight. It's Erasure, and I've scored the opportunity to get an interview with Mr. Vince Clarke, and so we're going to go in there and talk to him, and I hope I maintain my professionalism and don't turn into fanboy. I'll try my hardest. This is Todd Nuke'em from X96, and I am honored to be backstage at the Capitol Theater, and with me is Mr. Vince Clarke of Erasure, one of the most influential guys in alternative music. Good day to you, sir.
Hello, good day.
Glad to have you here. So the new Erasure album, The Violet Flame, is out, and I got my copy of it. It's an amazing album, and it has done extremely well in Utah. I mean, you've always had a very strong fan base in Salt Lake. The album debuted like in the top 20 locally here when it came out.
Yeah, I don't know. It's I think it's because we played here a long time ago when we first started touring the States. You know, it was one of our very early destinations, and we've played here fairly regularly. And I think that's helped us build up a kind of a following here.
It's true. Like, there hasn't been a tour where you really haven't rolled through Salt Lake. Even when you did that kind of acoustic sort of country tour, yeah. I remember you played a show in Salt Lake, and they've been selling out. Like, this one's sold out tonight. So it's a pretty active fan base here.
Yeah, I mean, we're very lucky.
And the album, The Violet Flame, I mean, you haven't really slowed down. This is album, if I'm doing my math correct, this is the 16th studio album that you've put out?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's what we do, so, I can't think of anything better to do.
Is there, over the years, has there been any kind of a change in the way that you've recorded and written the albums as technology has kind of evolved?
The way that we write has been basically the same. You know, Andy and I will sit down with a guitar or a piano, and in an acoustic environment with just a tape recorder, and work on ideas like that. Although for this new album, I did actually do some preparation work. You know, got some synth lines and bass lines and grooves going before we got together to write.
One of my favorite songs on the album is Sacred. I also like Dead of Night, and the single Elevation is a great song. What are some of the ones that turned out that you're particularly proud of? Well,
actually, we were listening a lot to Dead of the Night because we were rehearsing it at the moment, because it wasn't included in the beginning of the tour, but we wanted to do it for we're playing a show in Las Vegas on Halloween night. So we figured it would be appropriate for that. So that's the song at the moment that's in my head.
It's a good one. That's a good one. It's the first track on the album. It certainly sets the pace. I mean, it's a full energy, like that album. You just can't stop tapping your beat to your foot. So it's pretty good stuff. When you've played Salt Lake in the past, I mean, there's been big shows up at Park City. You've played big stadiums and big arenas, back in the 80s and early 90s, and it's still been a big deal, as you come through with this one being sold out. What are we going to expect tonight? Just more of the same good energy from an Erasure show?
Yeah, we've decided this time round that we'd do a kind of more of a dance orientated set. I mean, the new album is more like that anyway, so I've configured the rest of the set like that also, and we're doing kind of like almost remix, extended versions of a lot of the tracks, a lot of the older tracks, and the atmosphere that we're trying to to have on stage is like a kind of a disco, really.
Awesome.
Yeah, so hopefully people will be tapping their feet.
I think you'll have everybody just jumping up and dancing. And I know you were a fan in the earlier days of some of the old analog synthesizers, and in the way they used to have to daisy chain those together to get it to work. Do you still drag those out from time to time when you're doing new records?
That's all I use.
Really?
Yeah, that's all obviously I use some of the new technology, and we use the new technology when we're performing live. But the new record, for instance, was all done on analog equipment.
Maybe that's why it reminds me of such the good classics that you've done over the years.
Yeah.
Amazing stuff. What are some of your pieces of equipment that you're most fond of?
ARP 2600, Pro 1 probably, but I think I have 60 odd synths.
Wow.
So I try and, when I'm making a record, I try and mix everything up. I don't use one particular synth for one particular sound. I try and because the great thing about this old stuff is it's so unpredictable, and it's not programmable. There's no memory. So hopefully, when you start making a sound, you come up with something new every time. and I like that experimentation process.
Do you get a chance to play with like Pro Tools or any of the plugins that are available on the market now?
Well, I use Logic as the main sequencer. I'm not so much Pro Tools, more Logic kind of guy. And I do mess about with like soft synths as well. But as I say, for our basic recording, we're still using very old analog equipment.
You recently, it was a few years ago, you did a reunion tour with Alison Moyet, played some Yaz stuff.
Yeah.
Was that a pretty good time?
It was good. I mean, it was completely out of the blue. I mean, it just happened that I was kind of, or Erasure, going for a bit of a downtime. Andy was doing some solo stuff. I had some time on my hands, and it was an anniversary of Yaz or Yazoo, and Alison contacted me and said, do you want to do something? So we decided that we'd do this kind of reunion tour.
And you have a lot of stuff that you've been involved in. I mean, you always think of Vince Clarke with Erasure and, Yaz and Depeche Mode, but just looking at some of the stuff on your wiki page where you've been just collaborating and you've been staying pretty busy.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'm a bit of a workaholic, and it's interesting because as I've gotten older, I enjoy collaborating more now than I did when I was younger. I think it's, when I was younger, I kind of thought that I knew everything. And then you get older and you realise you know nothing. So it's nice to have other people there to tell you that.
Have you bumped into the Depeche Mode guys recently at all?
I saw them actually on the last tour they were playing. I live in Brooklyn now in New York, and they played in Brooklyn. So I saw them there. And prior to that, I did an album with Martin, like a techno record.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you guys did that whole project.
So that was nice. It was nice too, because I didn't, Martin and I were never very close, so it was good. It was good to have an opportunity to, to get to know him.
Awesome. What if you look back on all of the Erasure catalog and some of the great songs that you guys have written over the years? What are some of the all-time favorites?
I don't know. It changes really. I mean, I don't tend to listen to old stuff. Mm-hmm. It's all about the next record. The only time I listen to old stuff is when I'm preparing for a tour. So I would say there's a track that we're doing at the moment on this tour called Joan, which was a cut from the Chorus album, which is one of my favourite Erasure records. That's cool, and we'll see that one tonight. Yeah. And I've been seeing, and confirm this for me because I'm going to get all excited if you're going to play it, but Ship of Fools, one of my favorites. Is that going to happen tonight? Ship of Fools is happening, yeah. We're doing a very special, you'll know the song, but it's a very special remix version of that particular track, but it's not like so outrageous that you won't know what it is. I look forward to it. Vince Clarke, ladies and gentlemen, and you're one of the more soft-spoken but big-time influences of the whole alternative music format. Great to have you with us. Thanks for spending the time. We look forward to the show tonight. Thank you very much. Thanks. Awesome. All right, so I just was backstage, got a chance to talk to Vince Clarke, and as we came out, we noticed that people are lining up for the show tonight. What's your name? My name's Jesse. And you're an Erasure fan, I can tell, because you're wearing the shirt. Erasure fan, yes. So did you see them when they came through town, when was it, about 3 years ago? Yeah, for the, the Tomorrow's World Tour, yeah. Amazing show, right? Yeah, absolutely. That was my favorite so far, so hopefully this beats it. It probably will, because I looked at the set list, and there's some good stuff. This album is a strong album, so I'm excited to see some live stuff off that. So. Well, can I make you really jealous? Yes, please. So in my back pocket, I went and met and Vince autographed. First anniversary edition of The Innocents here. The remastered, right? Because you got to get all that sound. It's awesome. Come talk to me. Who else is here? What's your name? Tracy. Tracy, what's your favorite Erasure song of all time? Oh, it's probably going to be Alien. Wow, now I don't even know what album that's on. I'm not sure what album it's on. Love Boat, there you go. Okay. Were you ever, did any of you guys see when they played, I know they played at Park City a couple of times when it was at like Wolf Mountain. Yeah, come here. That was, I think, Wild and Innocence, if I remember. It was Wild and Innocence, and I want to show you, I got a funny photo from way back then. I have all these great pictures. Look, it's Vince Clarke and me backstage. You're jealous, aren't you? Yeah. Well, you know what? I met him back in 1980. I think that was 89. That's me with the funny hair. Let me hold that for you. That's me with the funny hair, and Andy and Vince, and then the girl that I was dating. And oddly, she looks just like the lead singer of Dead or Alive. Right? It's Pete Burns. I'll give you that. So anyway, now we got a young Erasure fan here. Have you ever seen them before? No. Have you been to a concert before? No. So this is your first concert? Oh, you have cool parents.
We're about to go meet him, actually.
Did you guys get the chance to go meet him as well?
We're gonna get to, so we're excited. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, wow, this is a good time. Well, thanks for talking to us, you guys. Have fun in there tonight. Erasure tonight. I can't wait.